Do you need help to keep your gentle aerobic pace easy enough?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good. Would you like to know why training at gentle aerobic, what we call chatty pace, is the best way to train?
Am I going to explain that bit?
You are.
Okay,
we
that's
are,
good. Okay.
Anne and Colin from Chatty Sparkly Runners, and in this video, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to give you 3 main tips to help you keep your aerobic pace, what we call chatty.
Yeah.
And Colin, you're going to do a little bit of explanation as to why that's going to make you fitter, faster, and an improved runner.
No, most people go too fast.
Yeah, and that's what this video is all about. We're going to give you some tips to help you.
Exactly. Yeah. Without mentioning the word zone.
Okay. And you will find a lot more detail in our new book,
Chatty Sparkly Running for enjoyment, health and improved
which
performance.
Really is for everybody.
And it is, we're going to link that at the end. We're going to say how you can have fun and get faster at the same time, because that's the key.
So let's get cracking.
Okay, go. So is it time to start running, Chatty? Okay,
yep,
let's crack on.
And we'll go for tip number 1.
Yes.
Which is...
How many tips are there again?
3.
Okay.
3 tips to help you stay aerobic and chatty on your runs. Okay, tip 1 is to be able to talk comfortably in full sentences.
And the key is comfortably.
Yeah, that's...
And most people go a little bit too fast, and we'll explain why that's not necessarily a good thing in a minute.
So, talking comfortably in full sentences. Okay, how can you talk when you're running, some people say? Well,
like us now, we can talk.
We're running together, aren't we? So
yes,
that's easy, isn't it? Get a friend to run with and run together and chat.
And have a good chat.
And gossip.
Yeah. Around the world, it's called different things, which I love. Aerobic running is obviously the physiological term. We're in North America and Europe, chatty running is getting quite a big... People often hear people say chatty running.
Yeah.
In Japan, I love it, it's called smiley running, and when I'm going my chatty pace, I do smile a lot.
Okay.
And not only that, when people are going a little bit too fast, you see them in the street, they have their race face on and they're going, and they're not smiling. But my favourite one is from the Philippines, and I can't do the language, but the translation is gossipy running. In other words, you can have a good gossip, and why not having a good gossip?
Because you've got to be relaxed to gossip.
Yeah.
Smile, haven't you? So it should be relaxed
and
running.
The thing about gossipy running is that you concentrate more on the gossip than the running.
Right, yeah, that's true. So talk comfortably in full sentences. So just check in with yourself every so often. Are you comfortable? Is it, when you're talking, is it comfortable? If you're on your own, have a little talk to the trees. Try say a sentence, sing a little nursery rhyme, that sort of thing.
Yeah, good.
Okay. So, yes, why then? So, talk comfortably in full sentences. Why is it important to do that? What's happening in your body?
Yeah. Aerobic running is obviously what it says on the tin, using oxygen, which is what we're doing now.
Yeah. We're getting enough oxygen in to keep our pace, this pace going.
So, that's fine. But there's different aerobic paces. Chatty running is a lovely, gentle aerobic pace. Whereas if you go a bit faster...
And that's coming to the next point.
Yes, a bit faster. I'm doing it already. You breathe a little bit deeper. You're still using majority aerobic, but you're just adding a little bit extra anaerobic, and that causes a bit of acidity.
Okay, so can we go to the next point then?
Yeah.
Because that's quite important to know when you are starting to go that little bit faster, that little bit breathy, and getting that acidity in the body, isn't it?
Okay, so
point 2.
So what's the benefit? Why is chatty running better? Because there's no real added benefit of going a little bit faster, but there is real benefit in doing more.
Yes.
So it's not the speed you run at, it's how much you do.
Yeah.
So if you go just a little bit too fast and you're a bit tired and you only do 2 runs a week and you don't enjoy it that much because it's hard work, you're much better off doing a 3rd run and doing all 3 chatty.
Absolutely.
And having fun and a good natter and a gossip, and you will get really fitter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Faster.
Yeah.
So how are you going to, so we're meant to be helping people with staying at this lovely chatty pace. So recognising when you're going a little bit too fast, when you're going a little bit breathy is important, isn't it? And
Yes.
that's tip 2.
Okay.
So what have you got to look out for? Obviously, if you're chatting, you're going to have a breath at the end of the sentence. That's not comfortable. If you're not chatting, then you're going to feel like you're working a little bit harder, aren't you?
Yeah, you're going to feel like you're working. When I'm running, I feel it could be almost too easy running Chatty. It feels almost too easy.
Some people say that. But easy is good.
Easy's good. You have to convince yourself.
If you're not chatting, and obviously you can't use that sort of talk test, then think about just stop. Just stop. And just key in, just briefly stop and key into what your shoulders are doing.
Hardly breathing at all.
How much you're breathing. Just do a little quick check. And there are full instructions on this in the book, actually, on how to do this little stop test.
Okay.
And if your shoulders aren't moving up and down very much, if you're really relaxed, you're chatty.
Yeah, okay.
If you've got a little bit
Okay.
breathiness,
As soon as you stop.
then when you start again and off you go, you're going to slow it down a little bit.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Is there a third tip coming up?
There is.
Because you did promise 3.
I promised 3. So tip number 3 is making sure that you finish every run feeling like you could carry on.
I'll go faster.
Or go faster.
It's of 2 golden rules. Number 1 is stop when you lose form, and number 2 is make sure that every run you could go faster or further, no matter what pace you're running at. That's whatever pace you're running. If you're doing a fast session, you should even always be able to do a little bit more and have gone faster.
Yeah, so finishing feeling like you could carry on is one of the most important, I think, because you know if you finish a run and you think, oh, that was a bit of a workout, you've possibly gone a little bit fast.
Well, unless you want to do a workout, unless it's time in the programme to do. But what we're saying
but we're talking about that, are we?
No, we're talking about aerobic running on base training, and that's exactly what we've covered and why it happens.
And I think it's
we're going significantly uphill, by the way, in case you realise that we've slowed down a bit.
Have you explained why finishing like you could do it all again or keep going is important?
Yeah, because you don't feel knackered at the end of the run. Am I allowed to say that? You don't feel tuckered at the end of the run, and then you'll want to do it again.
Yeah.
And the more you do, the fitter you'll get.
Yeah, you're not as tired.
You're not as tired. I mean, if you go out thinking I've got to run hard, oh, I'm tired, I don't really enjoy that, we ain't going to do it as much. And as it says on the cover of the book, it's for health, enjoyment and improved performance. And if you're having fun, your body loves being worked gently. It doesn't like being worked hard. As soon as you work it hard, you get acidity in the body, a bit of inflammation, other stresses of your life. You want your running to be a de-stressor most of the time, not an added stress. It's a great way to cope with stress.
And it's a bit of a change of mindset, isn't it?
For some people.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people it's a change of mindset. It's throwing out the window that idea of no pain, no gain, that you've got to work hard to achieve your goals.
Yes.
It's the antithesis of that, isn't it? It's the opposite of that.
And what we're saying is, have fun, enjoy yourself, and you'll get to your goals quicker. Yeah. So it's just funny that running is one of the only things where that happens.
Possibly. Okay, so we hope those 3 tips have helped you. If you are struggling a little bit,
we're cooling down now.
Find your perfect aerobic chatty pace. Okay. Obviously, there's a time for running faster, as we should finish with that.
Yeah, you should run in the week. You should run at different paces.
Yeah, but if you're learning to run chatty to start with,
then you should just run chatty all week.
So if you're an experienced chatty runner, you know how to do it. At the end of this video, try our video on training paces, different training paces, and when to use them. There'll be a link at the end.
There's a big chapter in the book on training paces and the physiology and what you should feel when you're doing the different paces.
Once you've mastered chatty running, you can do so much.
The world is your oyster.
The world is your oyster. And with that,
hopefully we'll see you next week.
See you next week.